Welcome back to Aeon Timeless History, where the past never truly fades, and history echoes through time. Today's story is not just about a disaster. It's about silence, secrecy, and consequences that still linger today. April 26, 1986. A quiet night in the Soviet Union. No war, no warning, no enemy. But within seconds, an explosion tore through one of the most powerful machines ever built by humans, a nuclear reactor. What followed wasn't just an accident, it became one of the most catastrophic man-made disasters in history. And even today, the truth behind Chernobyl disaster is still unfolding. Before we dive deeper, if you're fascinated by untold history and real-world mysteries, make sure to subscribe to Aeon Timeless History. And tell me in the comments, do you think Chernobyl was purely an accident, or something more? After World War II, the Soviet Union was determined to prove its technological dominance. Nuclear energy became a symbol of power, a way to light entire cities and demonstrate superiority during the Cold War. One of their proudest achievements was the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant, officially known as the V.I. Lenin Nuclear Power Station. Located near the newly built city of Pripyat, it was home to 4 massive RBMK reactors. Each reactor could generate 1,000 megawatts of electricity, enough to power a large city. But behind this technological marvel, there were design flaws, dangerous ones. On the night of April 25, 1986, engineers prepared for a safety test on Reactor 4. The goal seemed simple: could the reactor still be cooled if it lost external power? But things quickly went wrong. Operators ignored multiple safety protocols. They disabled automatic shutdown systems. They pushed the reactor into an unstable, low-power state. And worst of all, they underestimated the reactor itself. The RBMK design had a critical flaw. Under certain conditions, it became more unstable instead of safer. At 1:23 a.m., everything spiraled out of control. A sudden power surge triggered a chain reaction. Within seconds, 2 massive explosions ripped through Reactor 4. The 1,000-ton steel and concrete lid was blown into the air. The reactor core was exposed. And burning graphite sent radioactive material high into the atmosphere.
This wasn't just a fire, it was a radioactive storm. Official reports claimed only 2 workers died instantly, but reality was far more complex. Dozens of firefighters rushed to the scene, unaware of the invisible danger. They fought the flames without proper protection. Within hours, many began experiencing symptoms of radiation sickness, burning skin, severe nausea, internal damage. These men were heroes, but they were also the first victims of something they couldn't see. The Soviet authorities didn't immediately tell the world, not even their own people. The nearby city of Pripyat, home to nearly 50,000 residents, continued daily life as if nothing had happened. Children played outside. Families went to work, all while radiation levels soared. It took 36 hours before evacuation orders were finally issued. By then, it was already too late. The disaster couldn't stay hidden forever. Radiation detectors in Sweden began picking up unusual levels. Scientists traced it back to the Soviet Union. On April 28, 1986, the Soviets were forced to admit something had gone wrong. And suddenly, the world was watching. Fear spread across Europe. Questions began to rise. How dangerous is nuclear energy? Could this happen again? To stop the reactor from burning, helicopters dropped thousands of tons of sand, boron, clay, and lead. But the radiation was so intense, even machines failed. Remote-controlled robots stopped working. So the Soviet Union made a terrifying decision: send in humans. These workers, known as liquidators, were tasked with clearing radioactive debris from the roof. Each man had only seconds to work before receiving a dangerous dose of radiation. They were sacrificing their health to save millions. By late 1986, engineers constructed a massive steel and concrete structure over Reactor 4. It was called the sarcophagus. Its purpose? Seal the radioactive core, prevent further contamination. But it wasn't perfect. Over time, it began to weaken. Decades later, a new structure, the new safe confinement, was built to cover it. The true cost of Chernobyl is still being debated. A United Nations report confirmed
Over 6,000 children developed thyroid cancer linked to radioactive exposure. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced. Entire communities disappeared. Large areas of farmland, especially in Belarus, were contaminated, and the exclusion zone remains largely uninhabitable even today. Scientists estimate it could take up to 20,000 years before the area is truly safe again. Today, the area around Chernobyl is known as the exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer region where human life is restricted. The city of Pripyat stands frozen in time. Abandoned buildings, rusting playgrounds, empty apartments. Nature has begun reclaiming the land, but beneath the surface, radiation still lingers. Chernobyl changed the world. It forced nations to rethink nuclear safety. It exposed the dangers of secrecy, and it showed how human error, combined with flawed design, can lead to unimaginable consequences. It also played a role in weakening the Soviet Union, accelerating its eventual collapse. Even today, scientists continue to study Chernobyl, not just to understand the past, but to protect the future, because disasters like this should never happen again. If you made it this far, you're part of a rare group who truly values history. Now I want to hear from you. Was Chernobyl a failure of technology or a failure of human decision-making? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep, powerful stories like this, subscribe to Eon Timeless History. History is not just something we read, it's something we learn from. This is Eon Timeless History, where the past shapes the future. Watch the next video on your screen now, another story you won't forget, because the most powerful stories are the ones that actually happened.